suspension that can handle that power, and therefore you end up with endless hours of Mustang crashes. Good afternoon. It is a beautiful day here in North Carolina. Nothing but blue sky, kind of chilly, but we are going for a little drive. So let's fire it up. There we go. It's been a little bit since I fired it up, so should be all set to go now. Today's video, I am doing, oh, there's a GTR. Today's video, I am doing 5 things I like about the Cobra. So to start the video off, first thing, and they're not in any particular order, is the engine. Engine's a 4.6 liter, 32 valve, V8, dual overhead cam, producing 390 horsepower, with a supercharger stock from factory. You know, that's nice and all, but you can get a lot more out of this engine. And I'm not talking like a little, I'm talking a lot. Like over 600 horse, 700, 800 horsepower. There's a lot you can do to this engine. But if you don't want to touch the insides of the engine, you can definitely get it probably pretty close to 600 horse from the tune, intake, throttle body, even changing out the supercharger pulleys, headers, a full out exhaust system. You can do a lot to this engine, and for a little amount of money too. So I'm gonna say that's the first thing I like about this car. Second thing I like about this car is how it feels on the inside. And what I mean by that is how comfortable it is for me to drive. Now, I'm 6'2", 6'3", so I'm fairly large when it comes to small cars. And I actually have quite a bit, maybe 3 or 4 inches between my knees and the dash. I got plenty of headroom too. But you know, no one can sit behind me, that's for sure. But in a car like this, you're really not having anyone else sit in back. But the seat definitely cradles you. I definitely don't feel I'm gonna slide around or anything like that. So I'll give that number 2 of the things that I like about this car. Now, number 3 has got to be how the car handles. If you don't know, this Cobra actually has independent rear suspension, where most Mustangs around this time period only had straight axles. So because of the independent rear suspension, it's given you a lot more, I guess you can say, more forgiveness on handling, going around corners or leaving car meets than a regular straight axle Mustang would. And I actually think that the car meet crashes and Mustangs go hand in hand, all because of that. Well, I mean, the straight axles and the car meet crashes with Mustangs kind of go hand in hand. My theory is that you have people that take the regular Ford Mustang GT with a straight axle, stock suspension, stock brakes, and they bump it up to 400, 500 horsepower, go to show off the power that they have, but yet they can't put that power down to the ground because they don't have suspension that can handle that power, and therefore you end up with endless hours of Mustang crashes. So number 3 is definitely how it handles. that independent rear suspension helps out a hell of a lot. So that's number 3. Now, number 4, I would have to say, would be the supercharger whine. I mean, who doesn't love hearing that whine? It's just so nice. And I hope you can hear it, but it is a really nice whine. Now, lastly, or was that 1, 2, let's see, engine, suspension, inside, supercharger whine. The fifth thing, which I probably think might be the most, if I had to judge, is the most important thing, and that's how raw this car is. How raw and authentic. It is straight, you know, a driver's car. You don't have a computer changing up or, you know, adjusting the suspension for you as you're going around the corners. You don't have a computer turning the rear wheel tires for you as you're going around the corner or anything else. It's just straight, your hand on the shifter, your foot on the brake and gas pedal and the clutch, and your hands on the steering wheel. You know, it's just a raw car. You know, for its time, this is my like 60s, 70s muscle car, except it's an 03 Cobra. And, you know, you don't have any high-tech stuff in it. You got your gauges, your radio, your AC and heat, you know, fog lights, traction control button, and, you know, even to turn on your headlights is just a knob that you pull or push. So it's just real, raw, authentic American muscle, just like how it was in the 60s and 70s. So I definitely got to go with that being probably my most favorite thing about the car, is just how real it is. And I mean, there's more things, but I wanted to go with the top 5, and I hope that's a good top 5 that some of you can agree with. But I'll definitely be doing a video of the top 5 things that I dislike about the car. So be prepared to look out for that video, and make sure you subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and make sure you follow me on Instagram below. I'll catch you guys next video.